Hi, everybody. It's MJ from All to Love. I was just sort of closing down my yoga movement practice this morning, and I had this really lovely insight about how, because I've just been sort of processing the share from this morning and aware of edges for people, and again just our ability to get used to feeling stuff and sometimes sitting with less than desirable or less than comfortable emotions, and that's part of the function of the empath with that sensitivity and awareness to talk about it more, and open up about all of these underlying things we have going on. Anyway, and then, in my own expansion and freedom journey and continuation in the unfolding of creating this really beautiful life, I noodled around this concept or idea of like, we're not here to please each other. And this is again from an empath's perspective of having attracted some emotional abuse in my life, which is again, it's not pointing finger at these abusers. It's holding space for the fact that we lie about what we feel, and or we don't even know what we feel, and so we disconnect and then project and make masks and illusions to hide us from some of the deeper uncomfortable emotions that we carry. So the more clear, for example, an empath becomes, the more obvious it is when we're being faced with people in denial of how they feel, people that are not aware necessarily of all that they carry or even the patterns they're in around projection, control, domination, and manipulation, deception. So then I was thinking about, like that's the angle as well for me increasingly, and doing online coaching and all that kind of stuff, where you're aware that it's not my function to please people. It's instead a function to love, and being able to hold space for people. And then this got me on to thinking about, triggers are usually what we could, with enough awareness, notice are unwarranted reactions. Like we're exploding over something or getting triggered and like and it's sort of unwarranted, or it's laced in entanglement and codependency. It's laced in our, in our different patterns, and that as a construct can often take a little bit of processing, integrating, shifts of awareness, that kind of stuff, to outwork what we're already entrenched in a pattern sense, then to have more clarity around it. So this idea of like, I'm here to love, not please. And that ultimately comes down to like, but recognize that people that don't love themselves fully or haven't been working on loving themselves fully don't even necessarily know how to offer that. We can talk about how lovely it is, and it usually feels really great to talk about inspirational things and feeling in love with life and how beautiful that is. It's just fair enough to point out that as a society, culture, and a world, dominantly speaking, we're not trained and we're not necessarily given great examples of how to truly love ourselves. And for me, it was, doing the yoga and, really having this feeling of benevolence and gratitude around the life that I'm continuing to create and unfold, where I've been and where I've come to, and how I look after myself and how I love myself and how I don't compromise that. And that often, that sense of not compromising, the sense of love you deserve, the feeling of abundance you deserve, the da da da, is what continues to hone your sense of mastery of continue to choose the feel goods, without denying the ickies. And at the same time, be willing to step away from situations if they're not clear, so that we can come back to like, oh yeah, this is what love feels like. Oh yeah, this is what abundance feels like. Oh yeah, this is what good feelings feel like. So that the other, if it doesn't feel that, it doesn't matter what someone says or what somebody does, it's not in alignment with your truth, right? And then that can just be a clear indicator for you. If you get really good at loving yourself, then you can biofeedback off of any environment, person, place, or thing, and feel the disparity of whether or not that's in alignment with the love that you are and the love that you continue to want to create, or the other. So it's really kind of, cutting edge, leading edge stuff to be extraordinarily clear around your feelings. Anywho, little ping there for me. Um, some admin takes on the day now. So I love you guys. I hope that that was useful to you in your continual rising and expansion into your aligned self, happy self, joyous self, whatever that looks like for you. And as always, I just hope these shares continue to inspire you, love you, and direct in a very divine and positive way your path. Um, so yeah, lots of love here for you guys, and I appreciate you. And it's always nice to see you in the live shares as well. I know this isn't live right now, but I can see somebody here. So some of you must have, I don't know, your notifications to set in such a way to get the vibrashe, to get the hot love vibrashe. So you can see I'm like still all a stretch. I'm still all a stretch mode, you guys. Stretchings, stretchings, in the yoga mats there. So, and I was guided to have some watermelon this morning. Watermelon is quickly becoming one of my favorite breakfast substances. Okay, that's enough of that. Have a great day, you guys. Lots of love, peace, and big smiles and virtual hugs as always. I love you guys. Peace out.